Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Hey, good morning and welcome in. Happy Friday to you. It's Jeff and Jeremy. That's Jeff over there. This is Jeremy over here. Online at KZOZ.com, the podcast, Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Join the program anytime at 805-543-3693. I liked your question that you put up this week about, I forget exactly how you worded it. What did you learn during the pandemic? What was it, Jeff?
Me? What did I learn?
No. What was the question?
What skill did you have learned?
What is the most important skill you've learned since the pandemic started 10 months ago?
You know how important it is? I'm pretty happy that I learned how to do it, and that is tile work. I learned tile work.
It's pretty easy, isn't it? I've heard it's not real, tough.
Super easy.
You just kind of do it.
It's like
and
one of those things
repeat.
that seems super duper daunting when you're like staring down the barrel, and you're like, oh, okay, what do I do now? And then you watch some YouTube videos. That's what you do now. You watch some YouTube videos and you learn how to do it. That's how I learned to do it. The guy at Lowe's has this guy he's like a DIYer, but then he tells you at the end of the video, get all your stuff at Lowe's.
Oh,
and
sure.
Sneak that in. He does some amazing things with rooms, though. Like he put up, I want to do this so bad, but I don't know where I'm going to be able to do it because I've literally, the house that we're getting ready to move into, I've know for about 15 minutes. It's weird buying a house during COVID because they rush you in, they rush you out.
You might be just falling into that S storm. You don't even know.
That's what the inspector's for, right?
You hope that you can trust them. You bought a house sight unseen. You offered, I should say.
The offer was sight unseen.
You put an offer on
it, yeah.
But I mean, you saw it online, but you actually hadn't walked in until after you offered.
Because the market is so competitive right now that if we would have waited, and this is what the problem that we've ran into many times, was by the time we got around to scheduling the showing, because you have to schedule showings, there's no open houses or anything like that. So you have to schedule a showing, and where it's first come, first served to whoever gets to it. So if you hem and haw about a house for the slightest moment, your showing's going to be like 25th on the list or whatever it ends up being. So they have a short window sometimes in which they will be showing the house, and then they entertain the offers after the fact. We wanted to make sure that we could get in, but with work schedules and kid schedules and all that stuff, we had to, we just like, okay, well, we think we like this house. We're going to put an offer in it. We'll look at it at some point during the process, so we can then pull our offer off if we don't like it. We ended up liking it, and we ended up getting the house because we were proactive in putting the offer in. Now, this is not something I advise, but this is something that is taking place left and right all over the Central Coast. It is crazy because people are coming here to buy houses. So they're buying houses from areas that they're leaving because they don't want to live in metropolitan areas like Los Angeles, where it's a ghost town right now because you're not allowed to do anything. They want a little freedom. They want to be in a house where it's comfortable and you don't have to live on top of people. I understand. But it also makes it hard for anybody who lives here to jump into that game. So you have to learn.
Yeah,
it was a learning process.
You have to know how to play it.
It was a 7-month learning process.
I can't say that I've learned how to do any new skills in 2020 in this past 10 months. It wasn't until I was looking at some of the comments that people had said, and Josh said, I think it was learn to shut his mouth. And I think that's a skill that I've picked up along the way, is that you have to bite your lip. You have to bite your tongue. Is it bite your tongue or bite your lip?
I kind of think of you as a loose cannon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No. I'm holding back big time. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to say that I can't say. I can't say it. I just decided not to say it. There's a lot that I can't say without, dealing with the repercussions of just dealing with people. And so I've learned to, keep my mouth shut, kind of walk away and maybe vent to somebody like you or my wife and move on. But I thought that was really good, Josh.
To me is the best thing in the world because I'll try to get it out of you. I'll try to get you to make it public.
Well, you do sometimes. You do. Sometimes I'm just like, screw it. I'm gonna say what I feel.
This guy,
anyways.
okay, this is something I want to do. This guy, the Lowe's guy, he made a brick wall out of just little pieces of wood. Okay, and it's a fake brick wall, but it looks so real when you paint over. It's ridiculous. And he takes these little pieces of wood and he just spaces them out on a wall, and it makes the wall look like a brick wall by painting them a certain way and texturizing them a certain way. It's amazing.
Well, the one thing I learned a long time ago, and it wasn't in this during the pandemic, but
I don't have a place I could put it
is
before.
such a great tool to use
Oh, it's
to
insane.
learn how to do anything.
Yeah.
I use it. Actually, I would say if I'd learned how to do anything, it was as far as fishing some different lures and some different techniques this year because of YouTube, because of guys that do videos on YouTube. They're good. There's a lot of hacks and idiots out there, but then you can find some really good ones.
You have to really pay attention to the views, like how many views it's gotten, and take a look at those reviews as well. Because oftentimes, what I'll do is I'll watch a video, not the guy from Lowe's, because the guy from Lowe's is funded by Lowe's, so he's not going to make any mistake. But sometimes there's stuff that the guy from Lowe's misses. And I'm like, well, what about this step? So I'll look for that step in another video, and it's like Bill's tiling service in Indiana or something like that. And then Bill is like going through the process, and it's not as flashy and it doesn't look as good. And he has a method, and it's sufficient, but it doesn't seem right. Then you read the comments, and the answer will be in the comments. But it's a lot of, looking around, researching, finding. But don't overlook the views, and don't overlook the amount of views, and don't overlook the comments. Because usually, if it's got a lot of views and it's something that is specific as something like that, people, I guess it was referred. They've been referred to that actual link.
And I think a description is important too. If somebody went to the trouble to write out a description of what they're doing, what they're using, the different tools, I think that those are people that you can trust. It's the people that just turn on their phone and start shooting a video, and I don't know.
Which is, there's a lot of that you have to sift through.
Isaiah just writes in on the 805 text line. By the way, you can do that as well. 543-3693. He says, he says, you keep your mouth shut. I'll tell you, our country is full of a bunch of entitled, apathetic, lazy, in it for themselves and no one else, bunch of fools.
That's just the leadership.
Something like that. Something like that. Hey, we got Robin on today from Woods. If you're looking maybe to bring somebody new or something new to your home in 2021, nothing does it better, a little sunshine, than a four-legged friend. She'll be joining us just before 7 o'clock. We'll find out who's up for adoption this week and what they have going on at Woods. Also, $20 to Federico's Fresh Max. They're downtown slow every day. It's called Know the Show. We do it at 9:40. Just listen to this. We'll ask a question about something we talked about. You know the answer. You call in and you win.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Saw this in the news, which it was very surprising to me because I just assume that any Asian country has a population problem, the opposite of what's going on in South Korea. They're offering a grant of nearly $100,000 for couples who have at least 3 children. The city of Changwon, the capital of the southern province, is hoping to combat the issue of declining population. They have a population in decline in South Korea.
Wow.
So what they're doing is the new policy grants loans of $100 million to South Koreans. Not all, just one person, but over the...
Right.
So
Spread
they'll
it
give you $100,000. Okay.
You have 3 or more children.
No, it gets... Listen to this. Okay, so if you have one kid, then they're going to knock off 30% of the loan.
Oh, okay. So you get $30,000 if it's $100,000 loan, right?
Yes,
That's what you're talking about.
Yes, and the couple that gives birth. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. To one child, the interest on the loan will be waived. There will be no interest if you have one child.
Okay.
Okay. If you have 2 child, 30% will be taken away.
2
You don't have to pay 30% back. No interest. If you have 3 kids, 100% of the loan is yours. They'll give you $100,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
So my question is to myself. My wife and I don't have kids. If somebody gave me $100,000, but we had to have 3 kids, hell
kids?
no, hell's to the no.
Because I think I've illustrated it many times before. While $100,000 in a lump sum seems
Sounds
like a
nice.
lot, seems like a lot of money. It pales in comparison to what it costs to raise kids. It's
What
an
does it
expense.
cost to raise a child in the U.S. till the age of 18?
It's a good question, Jeremy. That's why Siri's going to answer it right now.
Yeah, she didn't answer it, though. Well, she did. I just have to click on the link. And so this is the USDA.gov. That's the United States of... You don't know?
USDA.gov?
Yeah.
That's the United States Drug Administration.
You're an adult, right? You should know this kind of stuff. You have a high school education.
Well, it's the United States Drug Administration, isn't that what you asked me? What's the United States of?
So based on data from 2015, which is
I
over
love how
5
you
years
just blow
ago.
past that mistake. Are you kidding me?
What mistake?
What was I supposed to say there?
You
said the USDA.
I was a quiz.
You said the USDA.gov, which is the United States of. Like you were auditioning for Alex.
The
Trebek's-
Department of Drug. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't say department. You said the United States of.
Yeah, meaning which? What does that mean? I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're not
applying
applying for Alex Trebek's job.
Okay. I'll work on my phrasing of my questions.
That was ridiculous.
2015, yeah.
Come on.
Approximate kids going to
What am
cost
I
you
supposed to say? Deer in headlights over here.
$12,980 per child.
12,000 what?
$12,000 a year to raise a kid.
Yeah.
Per kid.
Oh, that's well
About
over.
13, actually. 12,980. Let me be very specific here.
You get tax breaks, but still. I wonder if you get tax breaks in South Korea. I mean, each country does its own thing. I don't know if they give you tax breaks, especially if they're going to give you $100,000 up front. But, do the math. 12 times 18 is a lot more than 100,000.
Well, let's just say 13. Let's say, it's inflation, right? We'll say $13,000 a year since this was done in 2015. All right. So you got 13.
2015, not 2015.
What did I say? 2015?
2015.
What are you just trying to be
I'm just
correct now?
Now, since the United States of for USDA, I'm going to be on your ass. Yes.
So it's 13, and then I don't know, 18. I guess is what you go with. So it's $234,000 a kid, and you've got two.
You got to have three of them. So
you've got
you're talking
two.
about $700,000.
You're going to spend $500,000. Baloney. You're going to spend more than $500,000 on your kids.
Yeah,
you probably already have.
I would think so. Well, I don't know if I have already have.
But so no, I'm not taking your money, man. It's not enough.
Not enough.
3 kids,
but it's enough to draw people in. It's enough to get people to be like, yeah, they offset the cost a little bit. I mean, 3 kids.
Listen,
and once you have 2, you've got to go for 3, right?
This is crazy.
That, because that next step from 30% to 100% is a huge step.
More people died last year in Changwon, in South Korea, than were born. 275,815 born, 307,764 dead.
Wow. That's amazing.
So you don't like living in America? Go to South Korea. Raise the population. But the problem is you might die. How are people dying? I don't know what their overall population is, but
Well,
doesn't
it's
sound
probably
like
just
it's
regular mortality rate. I mean, it's probably not anything crazy. It's just people stop having kids, probably for a myriad of reasons. In this country, everybody was thinking that there would be like a baby boom because of the pandemic. It's been the opposite. It's been a baby bust. People don't want to bring kids into this nonsense that we're dealing with right now. I don't blame them.
805-543-3693 are the numbers to get through right now. Here are the top 6 reasons why you shouldn't have a kid. To have someone who loves you, because someone expects you to fit in, because China gave you money, to give your life a purpose, to establish your legacy. Who's got a legacy? Oh, because your heritage, your name. It's the only reason I ever thought about having a son.
My son's in a very important spot.
You're the last kingman besides your son?
My son's the only one that can carry on the name.
He'll be the last kingman when you die.
Yes, and if he decides not to have
There's
a boy,
no other Wests.
If he decides not to have a boy, then it will end at him.
Well, I don't think that's a decision he gets to make. Maybe by the time he can have a kid, they'll be able to, you'll be able to choose. But
well, no, I'm saying that, for a long time we thought that it was just going to die out.
I know,
with
2015. I know what you said.
And then now with him, he gets to carry it on.
This is it. I'm the last West. That's it.
But you're not, because it's a very common name. And I know there are other kingmans in the world. Not many, but there are other kingmans in the world.
Oh, boy. You know what I mean. That's it. My heritage, my family, my genes, done. That one I'm gone.
West, Kanye,
Oh, God.
Kim Kardashian. Come on. There's lots of people with the name.
Wake up. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy here. We got Robin on from the Woods Humane Society, and I'm looking over here at Woody. He's a 6-year-old boxer, who's up for adoption right now. Very cute looking dog, by the way, Robin. Is it?
He is cute.
Do you ever get super attached to these guys? I mean, I know you have animals coming in and out all the time, but there's got to be some that just grab your heart.
Oh my gosh, every day. But yes, I fall in love and get my heart broken and filled up every single day. All of our staff does. It's just we wish we could take them all home. We definitely bond with some, whether it's their story or it's just your type of dog, or you look in their eyes and they speak to you. This is one that his eyes just kind of pull you right in.
What is it about boxers? And I'm going to ask you this because it is you're around so many animals, so I think you would be the person to ask on this. Boxers, it seems as if though they always perpetually think that they are lap dogs. Every boxer I've ever been around tries to climb in my lap, no matter how old they are, which is fine when they're puppies.
Yeah.
And this goes for a lot of dogs, actually. But boxers, I've noticed that every single one I've been around, they climb in your lap. They're like 90 pounds and they're crawling up in your lap. Do you know why that is the case?
I don't know why, but I do agree. I would say like the boxer, the bully breeds. I have a Mastiff mix at home, and I say, the bigger they are, the more like cuddly sometimes they are. And yes, they don't have any idea when they're laying on you or stepping on your foot or whatever it is, how big they are. But they're just like big babies. They're truly just like big babies. And I think this guy kind of looks like he could have some like American Bulldog in him as well. So he's just a pretty cool guy.
Don't forget, right now, woodshumane.org is where you go to look at all the different animals. You guys really do a lot of cats. You have the dogs. You have a clinic up in Atascadero, which I think a lot of people are still getting familiar with, where you're just focusing on cats up there, right?
We do, yeah. We have cats in the North County shelter now, cats available for adoption, but we also do have public spay and neuter surgeries, and we do cats and dogs in our clinic. But as far as adoption, right now we still just have the cat shelter, but good news, we are continuing to move forward, even with as challenging of a year as it has been. We're moving forward with our plans to grow and build a new shelter in North County. So it'll be just like our slow shelter, better, improved even, and in North County where there's a big need for pet-related issues. So stray animals, different things like that. There isn't anything currently in North County. So, and we would love to get more adoptions even in North County than we're already doing.
And donations are good. I saw an Instagram picture that you guys posted of somebody who hand wrote a note and gave you a donation. Tell us about Sammy's story a little bit.
Yes, I would love to read his little letter if you guys would oblige.
Sure, go ahead.
We got this sweet letter in the mail, and it says, "Dear Woods Humane Society, my name is Sammy, and I raise money for Woods by raking leaves in my neighborhood. I know it isn't a lot, but I know you will be able to do good for the animals with it. Thank you for all that you do for our furry friends. Happy New Year. Your friend, Sammy, age 7.5. And Sammy sent in $6 with this letter, and it was so cute. We, of course, had to post it and share. And just seeing the handwritten letter, too, you just don't see those very often, and it's so cute to kind of remember how sweet and innocent and such a small little act of raking some leaves and his $6 that when we posted it, people were inspired and asked us how much they want to match it. So we got at least 24 donations because of Sammy's letter. So his little act of kindness grew into more acts of kindness. And so it's just a really nice, heartwarming story for today.
Just imagine if in this world we live in right now, if we were all 7 years old, we'd probably have a different outlook.
Yeah, right? It'd be a better place for sure.
Or if us adults didn't act 7 years old, sometimes, maybe.
Well, Robin, thanks a lot for your time as always. Thanks for everything you guys are doing over there at Woods, and thanks for sharing that story. It's going to make our Friday just a little bit better, so we appreciate that. woodshumane.org is the website. You can check out all the animals that are ready for you to take them home, and we'll catch up with you next week.